you're never going to really duplicate the buzz I had and for some of these monster truck events I've worked on where we had these, in Supercross, which if you haven't seen Supercross events, are very cool. Matter of fact, I've done some great racing events there in the old Texas Stadium there in Dallas,
Oh yeah.
where the Cowboys have been, where it gets hot as hell with that damn no hole in the roof thing.
Yep.
And so I've had a chance to work on some really cool major events. Some things, I started out as a PR guy, and some of the things I did at WWF, having guys like Ted DiBiase and Bobby Heenan on the Arsenio Hall show, and hanging out with
Mm.
Mike Tyson backstage, and then fast forward to 2020, the whole reason we were acquired by Triller, and one of the biggest things that we ever did with uh, Fight, it was the Mike Tyson. Um, Jones fight, where we had over 700,000 buys on our platform, which is the largest digital um, uh, purchase of a pay-per-view event on digital TV. Um, and an even cooler thing about that, the guy I did the deal with was Nikisa Badarian, who is Jake Paul's manager. And guess what? Jake Paul
Oh,
and Mike Tyson are doing a big fight on Netflix, which I'm excited as hell for them all because I've worked with all those guys. And Jake Paul is actually on the undercard of that Mike Tyson Jones fight. And now they're coming to your area. They're
they
coming to
sure are.
Dallas in July. And and who have ever dreamed of doing a event like that on Netflix?
Oh, I
But
know. I mean,
they
I
are.
think that's the first live thing on Netflix. And then obviously we heard the news earlier this year that WWE will be moving to Netflix next year as well. And so, the world of streaming is definitely a
Yeah.
much different animal than it was obviously when Netflix was just this DVD company that also happened to later become a streaming service.
Well, I mean, that's another thing. You're talking about the world of streaming is, when we launched Fight, if you had told us that HBO Boxing, Showtime
Mm,
Boxing, and even In Demand, who has just announced that they're closing up M next year, we're not going to be around anymore, we would say you're dreaming. And now,
right.
because we're taking that niche of business there, and streaming is the future. Now, I believe streaming is the future 20 years ago already.
Right. Yeah.
There was stuff there, so I've always believed in it. But if you had told us that we would outlast those, staples in the industry, especially for boxing, is like, who would have ever guessed that those three companies would be out of business and we still be thriving yet?
Yeah, you couldn't tell me that that was going to happen. Like, I think it was Bob Arum. I just happened to be lucky enough to. There was a fight here in at AT&T Stadium, and he happened to be in Grapevine, and I just happened to pop in a bar, and he was there, and I was like, I know where I'm talking to for a while. So,
Well, it's funny to me, Bob mentioned Bob Arum. We're doing a fight with Don King next week on June 7th.
whoa,
And if you have told me in 1989, when I was working in boxing, when I left WWF to go to Trump Sports doing boxing, and that Bob Arum and Don King will still be relevant. I mean, relevant's a relative term, but they're 92 years old. Both of those guys. They're only a few months apart from each other. And Bob Arum is as sharp as hell, traveling the world doing these events.
yeah,
And well, Don's maybe not, well, I don't know if you ever call him sharp, but he's
maybe.
still a character. As a matter of fact, we're just launching all the promotion with him today for the fight next week, but these guys are in their mid 90s now,
Mhm.
and are still promoting these boxing events. It's crazy. Who would have guessed that one?
No, yeah, you couldn't have. There's no way you could have guessed that, especially
But
that many years
well,
later. And like you said, at 92, like that's even more
hey,
crazy.
but crazy. In 1989, I worked on the Rolling Stone Steel Wheels tour when they
Oh,
came to um, Atlantic City, which Trump Plaza, Trump sponsors. I
right.
worked 3 nights in a row at the and I remember everybody, oh my God, this has to be the last one. These guys are so old. They're never going to do another concert again after this tour, are they? And that's what 35 years ago. And
Hmm.
living here in Cleveland, they're going to sell out the damn stadium here where the Browns play. And they're probably selling it over. They're still doing stadium tours. These guys are in their 80s. So
Yeah.
uh
I saw him two
just
years ago with my parents, and I was like, these guys are still killing it just
Yeah.
do, and it was like drizzling rain, and they were still. He was,
Oh yeah.
Mick was dancing around, and obviously everybody was still killing it. And I was like, "This is amazing." I wish I could do that at any age, let alone what the age they are now.
Yeah. No, exactly. So it's just yeah, there's a lot of things it tells you how poor we are at predicting the future sometimes.
Exactly. So for those that want to find out more about you, Triller TV, follow you guys online, subscribe to Triller TV, how can they do all the things?
Well, we're at TrillerTV.com. That's the website, but you go to any app, a Roku or Amazon or any places, you can download the app through the Apple Store and the Google Store, Triller TV. But we're on every connected TV. We're pretty easy to find. Essentially, the line is anywhere you see Netflix, you can see Triller TV. We, as John said, we have at least 20 to 40 live shows every week on our platform.
Mhm.
So there's a little bit of something for everybody.
Thank you so much to Michael for being on the show. I am so happy he's finally getting to retire and do a little more just him and family time. So thank you so much to Michael for not only being on the show, but for everything you've done within the pro wrestling world. He's got a rich history. So he was talking about it, and we only just scratched the surface. I would love to have him back on the show to talk about even more fun stories that he has. Make sure to follow us on the social medias. It is Brewsers Pod. That is BREWSERSPOD on the Instagram, the Thread, and the Twitter. If you want to send us an email, it is brewserspod@gmail.com. If you want to follow me directly, it is Rodie John. That is RODIEJON. Rodie John is the name on the Twitter and on Untapped. In case you want to find out what I'm drinking, maybe we can have beer together. If you want to follow me on the Threads or the Instagram, it is official Rodie John. So until next time, make sure to enjoy life, drink local, and cheers.